Hello guys, thank you for watching. My name is Skidward and I'm still new at doing guides, so bear with me and I'll try not to bore you more than I have to. Now as you can see, I've got it started on wave 11. I just like to review some stuff before we get to the actual part of the guide, starting from the beginning. Alright, now some of the things that we need to go over before we even start. There's some important things to keep in mind throughout this, as it's very challenging as a Warlock and leaves potential for very little error, next to none. Now, starting with the basics, for talents we're going to be using Soul Leech, Shadow Fury, Soul Link, Burning Rush, Grimoire of Supremacy. We want Kill Jaden's Cunning for the movement, and Demonic Servitude as a Destro lock. These are your choices. As you can see, I'm doing it as Destro, as I feel this is a strong spec. Now, some of the things that we need to go over before we get to this, we have different kind of mobs here. We have the Amber Mob, the Banana Guy, the Vermin, the Big Shield Guys, and the Healers and the Banshees. Now, these are things that you could review in the previous guides as well, so I won't go into detail about them. Now, some of the tricks that are going to be useful for doing this, in particular, the Amber Guys that shoot out the blobs, they're going to hit somebody with that Amber. If you run it into an enemy NPC, they're going to take a 50% increased damage. So this is going to be pretty crucial and play a huge role in succeeding. So it's very important that you get used to kiting these Amber blobs. It's going to be very helpful, and it's pretty much mandatory if you want to beat these DPS checks. Now, I'm going to go over the waves. As you can see on my screen, I set up a wave list. Now, this is not 100% accurate, and I've also got Dark Soul and Trinket for particular waves. Now, again, these waves that you see on the screen, they are not accurate. For wave 1, we have 3 Amber Guys and a Vermin. For wave 2, we have a Healer, an Amber Guy, 2 Guards, and a Banshee. For wave 3, we have 2 Banana Guys and a Vermin. For wave 4, 4 Shield Guys, an Ember Guy, and a Banshee. For wave 5, we have a Big Guy, Banana Guy, a Banshee, and a Healer. For wave 6, 2 Healers, a Vermin, bunch of Vermins. For wave 7, we have 3 Shield Guys, an Ember Guy, and a little Banana Guy. For wave 8, we have a Healer, 2 Slayers, and a Banshee. And for wave 9, we have an Amber Guy, Banana Guy, Shield, 2 Slayers, and a Banshee. And for wave 10, last but not least, the Big Shaw Boss. Now, some things that are going to be helpful again, kiting the Amber over NPCs. Also, I would strongly advise that you make a macro for the Large Illusionary Banana Tossers. Now, the Large Illusionary Banana Tossers has a hyphen between Banana Tosser. If you like to make that macro, I will also put that in the description down below. Alright, so we're going to get to the point. Let me pull this video back here to the start. And we're going to review a little bit wave by wave of what we need to do. Some of the things we can do to position ourselves. Alright, now starting out here on wave 1, we want to go ahead and have our portal down. Prior to the fight, we want to use Flask, any kind of buffs that you can use, trinkets that you can use on proc is going to be very helpful. Now, the Proving Grounds will scale to your item level, not to your highest item level in your bag or equipped or whatnot that you have heard. It scales to your item level. Now, on this first wave, you saw we have 3 Ember Guys. Just kind of run from them, run up to the Vermins, and you can have them be hit by it. Just portal back to your personal portal there, and just try not to move more than you absolutely have to. The Ambers are going to test you for your DPS, but as long as you interrupt or Shadow Fury so that they're not putting as many out, it's going to help a lot. So remember, use your interrupts, use your stuns to your advantage. There's no harm. The next wave, wave 2, we've got a Healer, an Amber Guy, 2 Guards, and a Banshee. What we want to do is get that Banshee down within 10 seconds, otherwise he's going to reset the encounter and you're going to lose. Now, as you can see here, I've got the Amber Guy. Between me and the Amber Guy is the Guard. Now the proper thing here to do is to stand with the guard in between you and Amber. That way he gets hit by it and he takes that increased damage. This is also going to save you for DPS because you're going to get the increased damage. You're not going to have to move as much. So as long as you position yourself where they get hit and you don't have to move, this is going to be one of the key factors to getting this done. Alright, for wave 3, we've got 2 banana guys and a vermin. Now this is a very, very challenging wave. Reason being is you have 2 banana guys. Now you want the macro so that you can easily target them at first. You spam that macro, have these rain of fires going out already. What we want to do is we want to try and get them stunned and nuke ever living crap out of them before they start running off, because if they run off, it's going to be very, very challenging to try and get them down. So what we're doing is taking Killjane's Cunning so that we're not having a 75% reduction. Now these banana tossers are going to throw bananas at you, giving you a 75% chance to miss. Best thing to do here is havoc both of them up, kill Jaden's, and throw a Chaos Bolt out and finish them off. Now as you can see, these little vermins in the middle of the room. Let me pull this back here just a little bit for you. See all these vermins right here in the room. Now the ones on the outer are not going to be hit as easily with Fire and Brimstone, so the easiest thing for you to do would be to Chaos Bolt the odd ones around the room, throw a Havoc up on the highest health one, and spam Shadow Fury. Now I would highly recommend a mouse over Shadow Burn simply for these vermin, as it will make very, very much quicker on your reaction time to be able to just mouse over and spam Shadow Burn repeatedly. It's going to save you click, Shadow Burn, click, and Shadow Burn. Alright, now on wave 4, 4 shield guys, an Amber guy, and a Banshee. Again, the easiest thing to do, since the Amber guy is in the middle, is you want to stand over here with the guard in the middle, let the Amber run into it, DPS them down. Now you can do this and just go stand behind every single guard, and you don't have to worry about running around for Ambers. As you can see here in the video, I like to try and run up behind one and throw a Havoc out. If you place properly, you can get Havoc Chaos Bolts out or Shadow Burns out. I prefer Chaos Bolts. Now again, the Banshees, they have to be your utmost priority, as you have 10 seconds, otherwise they'll explode, ending the encounter. So again, just position yourself, let the Ambers hit the shield guys, and remember, DPS the guys that are trapped in Amber, 50% damage increase. Alright, now here on wave 5, the first thing we want to do is get this banana guy down. And as you can see, the healer just healed him, which makes for very troublesome. So if you can throw a Shadow Fury out at first, that will help you if you're struggling with the banana guy. But as you can see, I didn't have too much reason to. I can nuke him down fairly easy. But again, any bit of time that you can save is going to add to your DPS. So it's crucial that you're not wasting any time. Now as you can see, this big shot here in the middle, he's got a 50% damage reduction for the first 40 seconds of the wave, and then the last 20 seconds is the burn phase where he takes 300% increased damage. So this is when you want to use all of your cooldowns, Dark Soul, Berserking, anything like that. As you can see here, he's going to take a lot of damage. Now a note for the banana guys, if your Terror Guard is out, use a Debilitate. It's going to root them. That's going to make very helpful so you don't have to chase them down. Alright, on wave 6 here, a handy trick to do is go ahead and start on the vermin, just throw a rain of fire out. And what this is going to do is the healers are going to target them and heal them. So it just kind of makes it non-questionable. And then from there, the best thing you can do is burn one Mystic down at a time, ensuring that they don't get healed, just like this. That's very bad. And again, I didn't do too awfully great here. But, you know, I was still able to pull it back. We throw that Havoc out on the healer and we shadow burn all the vermins. They'll take a lot of damage, so it will make very easy to kill that second healer if you just shadow burn off the vermin. Alright, wave 7 is 3 shield guys, an amber guy, and banshee. Now again, the easiest thing to do here, since we have these 2 amber trappers, is we want to position ourselves where they're going to hit these guards while we're moving as little as possible. Now again, put your Havoc up, it's going to increase your DPS. Just make sure you're using that Havoc as much as you can to your advantage. Place yourself to where you can get these down without moving too much. Now I do want to know, while we're on the subject of Havoc, do not take the glyph for it at all, because that is actually a DPS loss. The increased cooldown is 35 seconds and the base cooldown of Havoc is 15 seconds. So therefore you're just making a wrong decision. You could have 2 Havocs instead of just that 1 extra. Alright, on wave 8 here we've got a healer, 2 slayers, and a banshee. Rather easy. Just get this healer down as soon as you can, interrupt or stun it. The slayers don't do anything, they just stand there and look pretty. Now since this is an easy wave, you got the banshee as well. Don't forget that. Just simply take your time, not too much, you know, just build your embers up so that you're getting around 4 embers for the next wave. Wave 9 is going to be another big challenge, so it's important that you're gaining as many embers during this wave as you can. Now I also want to note, if you look here on the screen, the Dark Soul and the trinket rotations, I did not use them exactly the way I planned, but this would be an advised way for the first 10 waves, where to use your Dark Soul or where to use your trinkets. The trinket that I'm using is the Garrison 800 crit, and it has a 1.5-minute cooldown. So it's up for kind of every other wave. Every odd number would be best. And then after number 7, you want to save it for wave 10. Alright, let me pull you back real quick here. Wave 9, let's start out with this banana guy. Get him down real quick. Again, kill Jaden for the banana guys. It's going to make it real easy. Since you have no mobility outside of this, it's going to be easy. It's just pop that and run around so that you're not getting the 75% reduction. Now again, the amber trappers, just kind of position yourself where they're going to hit a shield guy or something else, you know. They can also hit the banshees. Now it's not important, as the banshees are only going to be up 10 seconds and you want to get them down as quick as you can. But as you can see here, if you get lucky enough, you'll have an amber run into them. Now at the end of wave 9, again, you're going to want as many ambers as you can. You're going to want 4 to start out, because wave 10 is the highest DPS check. You're going to want your Dark Soul, your trinkets, Berserker ratio if you're a troll or the orc equivalent. Now again, for these big guys here, wave 5, wave 10, they take a 50% reduced damage for the first 40 seconds of the wave, and then after that you've got 20 seconds of a burn phase. So what I'm doing here is just trying not to cap my embers too much while maintaining 4. As soon as this shield drops off here, I want to have 4, and I want to have my cooldowns ready to go at approximately 20 seconds left in fight. You need to have those going out. See, as you can tell, I used mine just a little bit early. Just a little bit early is okay. If you time it right, though, you should be able to pop your cooldowns and meet the DPS check. Now it's going to be very, very close, and what I would suggest is keeping 2 of your embers so that you can shadow burn for an instant cast. Now this is going to make it very handy in beating that DPS check again. Let me pull it back for you. 300% increased damage. Save your shadow burns. As you can see, I finished with 2 seconds, 1 second left, so it's very, very tight on the DPS check. Alright, now I'm going to leave this up here, and I'm going to rant for a little bit and just kind of go back over some of the things that are in the guide. Feel free to stop watching here if you want, or, you know, if you want to stick around and listen. Now, some of the things during this Proving Grounds, a lot of other classes may be able to get to wave 20 or 30 or whatever a little bit easier. Now, Warlocks have terrible mobility. I picked Destro, even though it has real bad, you know, mobility. I have to take Killjaden's Cunning to move around and get the banana guys sometimes for these Amber Trappers. And you can go with Demo or Affliction, you can try it out, and maybe some other people will be more successful with it. Now, the problems that are presented for Affliction is going to be things such as Wave 3, where you have all the vermins, and you have to AoE them down. Now, it's going to be very tricky as Affliction without taking Manaros Fury, because if you take Manaros Fury, you will not have Killjaden's Cunning for the banana tossers. Now, while some people find it easier to take Archimon's Darkness and be able to nuke the banana guys, I just find it simply easier because if you screw up, then you pretty much can just go ahead and reset the encounter. You're not going to meet the DPS check if you don't get them down quick enough. They're too problematic. Again, Banshees need to be the #1 on your priority. As soon as they come out, make sure you're getting them down. And again, talents: Soul Leech, Shadow Fury, Soul Link, Burning Rush, Grimoire Supremacy, Killjaden's, and Demonic Servitude. And like I noted during the video, if you take the Glyph of Havoc, you're practically losing DPS, and you're losing a Havoc. The base cooldown is now 15 seconds. So never take it. Things to consider during the fight as far as CCs and whatnot go. Now, the Glyph of Dark Soul can be handy since it will be up for each wave, but I would not advise it simply because the big guys. We've got our Shadow Fury, we've got our Interrupt. I believe that you can fear some of the mobs. Now, I don't really see too much of a point in doing it on Endless, as that couple seconds casting fear could be spent DPSing or whatnot, but whatever is easier for you. If you find that it works, then good. Now, the Succubus Mesmerized, it will work on humanoids in here, so if you have a double healer and you can manage to pull a Succubus out in time, then feel free to do that. I would not advise it though. I would go ahead and keep the Interrupt. We want to try and interrupt the Amber guys kind of often. You want to let them shoot the blobs out so that you get the DPS increase, but you also want to interrupt them sometimes so that you can stand there and DPS. You just got to find that balance, and it's going to take a little bit of practice and getting used to it. Burn and Rush for mobility to get around quicker. That's going to save you travel time. That's going to increase your DPS time. So make sure that you're taking that to your advantage and using it. Again, tricks to the spite. If you leave the Amber Trapper up until the last 10 seconds and then you have them low enough to where you can shadow burn, if he casts a Amber within, I think it's the last 8 seconds, then that Amber is still going to follow you around for a little bit, and if you run it into something that's on the next wave, it will work. It will trap them and they will take that increased damage. So on the waves where there are Embers, if you can manage to time it right, then take that to your advantage. I would not suggest that to the common person, as you might end up wasting too much time and messing up. But if you're confident in your playing skills to do that, then by all means, I absolutely recommend it. Take that to your advantage. Now, for these big guys, again, I try and get all my cooldowns up during the last 20 seconds. 4 embers going into that burn phase, because you want to be able to chaos bolt over and over, or you want to be able to have those couple shadow burns to finish them off. It's a very tight DPS check for Warlocks right now, and a lot of people are going to struggle to get past the 10 wave. And if you do get past the 10th wave, then by all means, that means you are a decent player, and good job. Be proud of yourself. And if you're not able to get to wave 10, keep trying. Keep trying. All this is practice. It scales to your gear, so as long as you can pull what your class can pull in DPS at its near top potential, you'll be fine. If you're struggling with DPS checks, even though you have the ambers up, get a little bit more gear. It might help. Don't get discouraged. Come back, try it again later. It's not always easy the first time, but it might be the second time. Don't put yourself down about it. Now, flasks do work in here. Pots do not. I'm not sure if food buffs work or not. I didn't check before. I'm, again, still kind of new at this. The bloodlust drums do not work in here. I'm not sure about the augmentation runes that give 50 intellect. You can try that and see. I'm sure it probably works though. But any kind of buffs that you can get, take that to your advantage. You're absolutely going to need it. Now again, the banana tossers, grab a macro. It's going to make it a lot easier, a lot quicker for you. A mouse over for shadow burn is really going to help. If you can get one for havoc, that may also help a little bit. Just simply clicking is going to save you a second of time that you can DPS, and that 1 second, you know, add that up, 5 seconds, you know, here and there, that's 5 seconds. That's 5 seconds of DPS gain. Every little bit counts again. So that's it for today, and thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Subscribe, like.